The silence sometimes creates a mysterious environment. Hello, a great evening, namaste, or a great phenomenal morning, depending on where you are. You are truly celebrating Sunday, and it so happens that today is the Easter Sunday. Well, you're celebrating that because Easter brings cheer, just like in some parts of the globe, Holi brings cheer of the arrival of spring and so on. Now, mind you, we all notice that we celebrate so many different occasions, so many different festivals, and all that. I celebrate you, your awareness, and your phenomenally awesome journey that you take on every moment, every day, every week, every month, and lifelong. Don't shortchange yourself in even thinking or suggesting to anyone that yours is not a powerful story. You have such a powerful story, and it is my hope that we will be able to make it write different chapters that are going to be even more powerful than what you have so far written in your book. You are living your legacy to leave your legacy so that others will cherish for a sustained period of time. Are you ready? Because I know we are, to help you uncover your passion. Now, mind you, what is passion? And we are sitting, hopefully, in the comforts of our homes or our offices, even though it's a Sunday, it doesn't matter. But this stay at home, the quarantine, whatever the environment that brought us to being on our own, my significant invitation to you is to, if you haven't learned and picked up new knowledge, new skills, new avenues to uncover your passion, you can never use this line in the future. I couldn't do it because I don't have the time. You see what I mean? You have the time right now, or at least I'm hoping you have the time. I heard it just this morning that someone actually ended up dyeing their hair because they said his claim was because that's what you do because I don't have anything else to do. I've got news for him, but I'm not going to take it away from him. Hey, look, the reason I showed you, I've got no use for the color of hair or so. Anyway, that's uncovering your passion. And how do we do this? Because doing it is, you may be alone right now, but you are never lonely. I promise you, I guarantee you, I'm even willing to take a bet that you have more social media here and here than you'll ever be able to make use of the entire treasure that you are sitting with. You are so well equipped with such powerful emotions and the clarity of thought. The path to take is begin to ask the right questions. And as I said, let's uncover your passion to be able to see what journey you can take and how you can shape your journey to be a seamless one and an uneventful one. Now, mind you, I don't want this to be a didactic presentation, so please let's interact, because whereas my goal and objective and purpose behind this is to share as much as I can about hoping to help you how you uncover your passion, but it is my selfish interest as well to learn from you, whether you are sitting in the Phoenix area or in Bombay or in Delhi or in Singapore, Hong Kong, wherever you may be. I would love to learn from you. Now, journeys take us on different paths, and we will come across different ocean shores, cliffs, lighthouses, and whatever else that'll bring us to make this the most scenic route on our journey. Again, oceans and lighthouses help us create the most beautiful journey. I stand on the shore, and when I watch the waves come in, my one question I ask is, each wave, how many lessons and chapters is it bringing with itself? And if I have answered that for myself correctly, literally, not just the wave of the ocean, but each of our interaction also brings us new lessons, innovative learnings, and pragmatic approaches to building and writing our journey of passionate and more fulfilled living, thereby helping us to thrive. Hopefully, you are looking at your journey so far and it's raising so many questions for yourself. But if you have questions that we can help answer as well, please let us know. Now, in the journey, of course, we need to take breaks. Right now, as in where you are sitting, you're probably distracted by saying to yourself, hey, it's 9 on the Sunday morning, or 9:30 in the night, or 12:30 in the night, wherever you may be. Why am I sitting here? I could be doing so many other things, my homework, my paperwork. Oh, the tax deadline is coming, so on and so forth. But your road to uncovering your passion becomes so easy when your mind, your words, and your actions align with each other. Here is the bet: nothing is impossible. SK, as I said, when mind, body, and the environment become one, nothing is impossible. Now, yes, you are probably going to think, wait a minute, but how do we do that? There is a term called mindfulness, being in the moment and thinking about compartmentalizing every action, decision will bring you closer to mindfulness. And that mindfulness will hopefully give you the ammunition, the fuel to bring your environment and your actions in alignment. I've got a question, not that you have to answer it, but think about it, answer it for yourself. How many of you allow the environment to dictate the outcome? Let me repeat. How many of you allow your environment dictate the outcome for you? You don't have to answer it. Just introspect about it. Come up with, write it down. Let's move forward. Because there are multiple millions of external stimuli. SK, to the next slide, please. We are hit with so many external stimulus and stimuli per second. We don't deal with all of them all at once, because if we do, then it's going to be called either insanity or will be identified as being crazy. But our human brain has been given the phenomenal filters that allow us to implement our own freedom to choose whatever decisions we will end up making. And that'll help us write the next chapter or multiple chapters. Now, those of you that have traveled to either London or Hong Kong or Singapore, and you have taken the local trains, they call it tube, they call it trains, local trains, whatever. But if you remember, anytime you walked into the station and the train pulled into the station, there is an alarm that is sounded on the loudspeaker, and all it says is, mind the gap. Why am I bringing this to you? Is simply because of what the slide suggests. When we are hit with the external stimulus, now the previous one, when we are hit with the external stimulus, we almost always react. My friends, I don't want to give you examples. You can think about what kind of stimulus comes your way and how you react. I can give you just one if you don't mind. You are going at 80 miles an hour on the freeway or the toll road, and someone actually cuts you off. Your instant reaction is, whether you say it out loud or not, you curse. You probably show a few nonverbal signals and reactions as well. My point is, if you mind the gap, create a space between the external stimulus and your reaction, that space itself changes the reaction to response. And here is the difference between reaction versus the response. Reactions are almost always negative. They are impulsive. They are tactical and short term. By contrast, if you think about it, responses are almost always positive, strategic or long term, and educated, as against reactions being uneducated. And that's the reason we are saying how you are building and creating the space by asking the right questions at the right time. I've got stories about them, but we'll probably take up those stories at some other time. And I'm sure that you have stories that you would like to share as well. But given that, let's reverse just a little bit and go back to the next one. As I said, when mind, body, and the environment are aligned and act in sync, where passion lives, nothing is impossible. And that brings us to the most significant tool that we have in our lives as our carry on, which is watch your thoughts, they shape your destiny. Because if you think about it, and if you've answered your question, my question about how many of you let the environment dictate the outcome, we're facing a different kind of environment right now. But what you think about and how you are dealing with it will initiate the words for you. Those words will ignite actions. Clubbed together, these actions will form your habits. Or in case you missed it, your habits create your character. And last time I checked, your character is your destiny. So if we succinctly put it as a reference guide, smaller than a credit card or a business card size, I would leave you with one thought, and that is watch your thoughts, they shape your destiny. Any thoughts or questions about that, which would help us create and design our own destiny? Okay. I hope you are staying stellar, staying safe, and staying in peace as to wherever you may be, doing whatever that you may be doing and thinking about doing. Given that, we've got a formula that I want to share with you, and that is, I call it the formula of 4 corners of 4 Ps. We have proven this over the last 50 years for sure, that if you're passionate about a cause, that passion will instill a purpose in you. Passion and purpose together will invariably invite planning. And passion, purpose, and planning together will not leave you alone and will demand that you are persistent towards the success of those goals. So passion, purpose, planning, persistence will guarantee you not only achieving the success, but exceeding goals to gain absolutely the most sustained and strategic success that you will ever aspire. So, given all of these, think about it. If you were passionate about one or two aspects in life some time ago, you created, you built it, you made a bridge into purpose, and you started planning. Whether it was to become an engineer, whether it was to become a physician, a nurse, help others in your lofty cause, you've been able to do that. And that's what the 4 Ps will do it. But at the same time, once you have done those, accomplished or exceeded those goals, don't shortchange yourself. Don't be sitting at home saying, let me dye my hair. My invitation to you is to search for your next peak. And how will you search for your next peak is where I want to tell you about it by living more, leading more, and empowering more. There's a great question about how to utilize time at home during this lockdown. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on how much traffic you have at home. And now, mind you, I'm using analogy by calling it traffic at home. I don't mean the number of people, but the number of activities that are going on. And you're saying, oh, but Ben, I've got to go and take a look at this. I've got to help this. I've got to help her. I've got to help. He just came in. He surprised me. So on and so forth. Again, if you stay focused with determination and integrity to yourself, your intuition will not only allow you, but invite you to find the optimum time that you want to spend pursuing and persisting your goals, your passion, your purpose, and your planning to optimize time, whether you are at home or otherwise. Thanks for that question. Let me move to, we put a lot of efforts over 2.5. Results are still far away. We need, we need results, of course. And that's where strategy and tactic got to go hand in glove. And I'm sure you've heard that before, but if you haven't done that, begin to sit down and plan it in such a way that last time I spoke about every coin has two sides. For this purpose, Taba, think of one side of that coin as the strategy and the very other side to be the tactical side. Short-term gain with long-term learning towards strategic and sustained success. Easier said than done? No. In fact, if you give it a try, I guarantee you, you will very soon, probably in about 6 months, say, Ben, thank you. It was easier done than said. But let me move back to what I was saying. I hope that has answered the question. Thank you. What I was saying was on one of my last slides was that live more. How do we live more? There's always the temptation of sitting down on the sofa, watching the remote, because last time I checked, the remote is still in your control, regardless of whether your wife wants it or not, whether your kid wanted it or not. You still kept the remote in your prized possession, and you were saying, I want to watch this. Hang on. My invitation to you is, when was the last time you watched yourself? And if the answer is, I don't remember, all I'm asking you to do is start asking. You will find the right activities and decisions to make during the lockdown at the house, which somebody had asked about. And if you start asking, you will combine the strategy and the tactical approaches to your business. And when you start thinking outside of the box, that outside of the box will take you outside of your comfort zone. And last time I checked, miracles happen outside of our comfort zone, not within the comfort zone. What can I do if I don't succeed in what I want to do? Always a concern and a fear for those that want to give up. My absolute, absolute confirmation for you would be, Ashraf, stay persistent. You will find new, innovative, out of the box approaches to finding the success. Not only because you deserve it, but because you have combined that with your passion, purpose, planning, and persistence. Case in point, one of my friends, you may ask, how did he do it? And that is a real short story. My friend is an engineer from a reputed institution. He wanted to get his MBA, global MBA, from a very reputed and number one MBA school in the world, and that is called Thunderbird. He graduated from Thunderbird, and over the last 16 years, he was exploited by one of the corporate American organizations, and he stuck around. And he stuck around, persisting, doing his work, fulfilling his responsibilities very diligently. And I'm proud to say that over the last 3 years, he has seen the kind of success that has now become an envy of others. So whereas Ashraf, it's a great question, I would still insist, be patient, be persistent. Yes, I give you the fifth P, but we will still go with 4 Ps of my formula that I have given so far. Be patient. Think of it. You are in this for long term. And last time I checked, you cannot bring back your yesterday. You can only shape and alter your tomorrows. Again, live more, thrive more, lead more, help others, and empower more. SK, if you go to that slide, that'd be great. And this is what I mean. We all have aspirations. As a child, whenever I would see in the middle of the night an international flight on the skies, open sunny skies, my instant thought was always, I'm going to be on one of them very soon. And God knows, my friends, not to brag about it, not to show off, but given that aspiration, I've got 4 million miles on one airline. The stupid mileage reward program keeps you not flying any other airline, but that doesn't mean anything. My point is, that was a small little spark in me that said at night, I want to be on one of them very soon. 4 million miles later, I'm sitting in my office, quarantined according to some definition, but I'm still saying I have enjoyed most of the places around the globe, and not one place has given me any negative experiences. All of them have been very stellar. So, given that, aspiration, integrity, mindset is for success. How and when do you decide to give up? Brilliant question again. Again, like I said, patience and persistence will seek that you don't give up. But if you find It's almost like, if I can give you an example or analogy of that, and I'm assuming Ashraf is from Bombay or India, and if that be the case, Ashraf, if you wanted to drive from Bombay to, let's say, Bangalore, and you started driving, you have a fantastic car, you're on your way, and probably about 3, 4 hours later, you just saw, aha, the road sign showed you Baroda to be 50 miles. You should be scratching your head. Wait a minute, I'm on my way to Bangalore. Why is it showing me sign for Baroda? Obviously, you ended up taking an incorrect road. But given that, so to answer your question, how and when do I decide to give up? Is put this formula in place. Once you have the 4 P's, passion, purpose, planning, persistence, start putting milestones and measure in place as well to gauge if you are on the right journey towards successful accomplishments towards your goals. I hope that answers your question by the story that I said. Or if you're in the US and you were driving from, let's say, Phoenix to Los Angeles, and suddenly you saw a sign for Dallas. Obviously, you're on the opposite direction of going towards Los Angeles. You would make a U turn. It's not giving up. You just made a U turn. And if nothing else, you enjoyed the journey. So be thankful that you enjoyed the journey and just say, hey, I'm still full of fuel. I've got resources. I'm going to still continue to go the right way that I want to go. And to give you yet another foundational emphasis towards when and how do I decide to give up, I'm going to conclude this part with my last statement. SK, can you go to that, please? I am hoping that you will continue to stick to your passion, uncovering and finding your purpose, and so that you can plan and there are no distractions that'll take you away from you being persistent. Be the marathon runner that you are. Thank you all so very much. I'm humbled to have you be here, interact, and I've learned so much as well. And I have shared as much as well. Thank you.